Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's been a long 6 weeks since I last been on. I've just been busy with other stuff, simple as. I'm glad to be back. I do apologise to my regular subscribers that like seeing me videos, that ask me when they see me in public, what's going on? Have you given up on the channel? Have you lost the appetite for Celtic? Not in a million years. Never lose the appetite for the club that I've moved to Scotland for, the club that I wear majority daily, the jerseys, the club that I post about on social media. But it has been difficult over the last 6 weeks not getting on and not having that confidence, not having that drive, not having that energy to talk to you about, because my brain has been somewhere else. And I'm back. I'm back with a bang. And I'm hope to stay back. I don't want to be saying this and then a week later I'm gone again and you're like, what is this lad up to? Is he going to be consistent? Is he going to be a James Milner? Is he going to be a Daisy Moyeda? Or is he just going to go off the face of the earth? As he going to be a Brahita? We shall see. We're going to talk about three players today from the Belgian Pro League that Celtic have on the radar. Paul Tisdale, who's the head of scouting at Celtic, who we brought in the summer. There's been reports from Belgium that Celtic are looking at a striker, a defensive midfielder, which we badly need, and we're also looking at a winger as well, which we've been linked with a couple of times over the last couple of videos and windows. So let's kick it off. Let's kick it off with the striker. Regards to look at this guy, Franjo Ivanovic. He's 21 years of age. He's a Croatian international. He has been capped for Croatia twice, so he would know Josip Ivanovic. You might have had a chat with Josip Ivanovic. He's played 47 times in all competitions this season. And this is a guy, he has a bit of European experience so far. 47 games, 21 goals, over 6 foot. He's value market around £10 million. And he originally came through Olsberg's second team, made a move to Croatian football, and then he was snapped up for Belgian football. And let's be honest, has Adamita cut the sauce this season? Would you rate him out of 10? Probably a 6 out of 10. There has been a good performance against Aston Villa in there, some performances leading up to Christmas, but it kills me saying this about Adamita. It really does. I'm starting to lose the patience, starting to lose, he's more of a sub than a starter. And losing Kyogo, you expect either to step up, but it hasn't been that case. So we desperately need to get a striker in. I don't know, will Celtic pay 10 million for a striker from Belgium? Well, the market's getting higher. Inflation is there. It's not the days where we can go and get a 5 million striker and hope the best happens. We were lucky with Giakoumakis and Kyogo over the years, but I think Ivanovic will be definitely a thumbs up for me. What I've seen of him, bit of a powerhouse. That's what we kind of need. We need that kind of Giakoumakis similarity, and he has that. He does have that in the locker. So I don't know what will happen with Adamita. He's on a long-term contract. Will we see Adamita being put down to third choice? Because let's be honest, Johnny Kenny's not getting a sniff. He'll probably end up leaving in the summer anyways. And look, it's disappointing for Johnny Kenny because he's done well for Shamrock Rovers, done well in the Conference League, scoring so many goals as well for Rovers. But we definitely need to get a striker in the summer. I'm worried about that position, to be honest. I know Maeda has stepped up to the plate and he has banged in 30 goals this season. Since Kyogo's left, he scored 18 goals, which is phenomenal, which is absolutely phenomenal. So let's see how that goes. Regards to a defensive midfielder, when I say this, I truly mean this. We should never get rid of Tomoki Iwata. Tomoki Iwata never got a chance at Celtic. He is doing well down in Birmingham. Scored some absolute crackers, especially against Newcastle in the FA Cup back about 4 weeks ago. Absolute blinder of a goal. But we're looking at a guy that plays for the DR of Congo as his international team, but he plays for Union Saint-Gazelle, the same team that Ivanovic plays for. So it could be a double trouble signings here. He is 20 years of age. He's 6'1", and his name is Noah Sakiki. He's played over 46 games so far for Union, and this is a guy as well that has European experience in there. And look, he's valued at 10 million as well. Will Celtic get this guy with 2 years left in his deal? Could be. We do need strength in that defensive midfield department. I just feel like, especially go back to the Derby day when we didn't have Callum McGregor, we looked quite weak. I know Ingles was playing that kind of defensive midfield. I know Atate was trying to navigate in there as well with McCown, but let's be honest, we just look like headless chickens that derby day. And I think we get this guy, Nikiki, and looks like he has a bit of pace, looks like a bit of a powerhouse. Kind of reminds me of Wanyama a little bit, because we got Wanyama from around Belgium back in the day, back in 2010, and look, he was an absolute stud muffin for Celtic, and he's back in Scottish football now for Dunfermline under Lenny, but unfortunately gets sent off against Ayr United in his debut. But Nikiki, 7 caps for his country as well. So we'll see how this goes regards to these two lads from Union St. Galles. We're looking at Michel-Ange Balikwisha. So people that watch these Celtic channels on a regular basis, you would have heard this name, Michel-Ange Balikwisha. This guy's been capped for Belgium's under 23s. He can play for the Congo as well, for the DR Congo, same as Nikiki. And this is a guy, he was valued at 9 million last summer. Picked up injuries that kept him out of the Royal Antwerp side for nearly 4 months. And reports is that they're willing to take around €5 million for the winger. He has Champions League experience. He scored in Champions League. He's Europa League experience in there. Look, he came through the Stella Liège Youth Academy, sold to Royal Antwerp for over £5 million. They've obviously got their money's worth out of him, and he's keen on the move to Scotland. So let's see what happens. We have James at our disposal. We have Yang there. We have Jota there. Look, at Yang has been turning the heat on over the last couple of months. I think with his missus coming over, his confidence is up. You know, like these are people at the end of the day. As much as we think they're footballers, they do have a personal life. If they're homesick and they're struggling, it is going to affect their performance. It is going to affect them the day to day. It's going to affect their sleep. It's going to affect their energy levels. And Yang has turned it up, and I give it to Yang, fair play. James is back after being out for nearly 3 months. It's good to see him back. You know, Jota is in the fold now. Jota's scoring goals for Celtic. Still not 100% of fitness yet. He will get there, as he said in the press conference. And let's see what happens with regards to Jota. I think with Nicholas Keown, which I know I haven't mentioned him first, I think he has dipped. Even though he did provide assists, I think his form has dipped. I think he's one of these players that have checked out already. I think a few of these players have checked out since Munich. I just think in their heads, like, okay, we have the league and the Scottish Cup to do, and it's not good enough. I know he's might think I'm acting over the top here, but some of them players need a reality check. How can you go against your most fiercest rivals and let them dominate you at home and push that press on you and fall to slunders and concede the last minute? I just think the likes of Carter Vickers, I don't know if his head is in it, even though he's a vice captain. Is his head at Celtic? Probably not. He's probably looking for a move away. I know he was linked to Bayern Leverkusen last summer, and if he goes to Bayern Leverkusen, Celtic should be cashing in for around 11-12 million on Carter Vickers. I know he went club to club before we signed him on a permanent from Tottenham, but we definitely need to get Carter Vickers' head right, because I just think it's a joke. Like, I know we have Naroski in there, and he's at the coming out of literally the depths of hell, and he's played well over the last 2 games. Welch is on loan as well. Mechlin, I don't think Welch will have a chance at Celtic. I think Scales, the question mark over him as well. I've been a big Scales fan over the last 2 to 3 years. Will we see Trusty, you know, starting to build himself again? Trusty hasn't been bad, to be honest, for Celtic, so we'll see what happens there. But Nicholas Keown, I think he will go in the summer. I know he's not a long-term deal, but I think Celtic will listen to offers. Look, if Roddy went last season, Jota went the previous season, I think Celtic will be sitting around for 25 million. It all goes down to Champions League. If we don't qualify for the Champions League via playoffs, I think Celtic will be looking at the book and saying, as much as we have our 70 million in the bank, you know, we want to keep that tab high, and we're losing out on potentially 60 million with Champions League revenue money. We need to kind of look at maybe selling a player too. And my predictions on this whole thing is, I think Atate will go. I think if Atate goes, you bring Lennon Miller in. I've said so many times on the channel, I know Lennon Miller has been valued at like $7 million, $8 million malarkey. Motherwell trying to cash in with all this like Lennon Miller stuff. He's only 18 years of age. So we'll see what happens. That's really it for me. Do subscribe to the channel, and it's good speaking to you again. It's going to have a massive shout out again to the Streets with my member for this cracking top. Unbelievable stuff. Really snug as well. So they're on Instagram. Have a look. Please subscribe. Speak to us all soon. Hell.